Well, hey, everybody. Another Saturday night here on the farm. Our BTO operation. Hopefully the mic is coming through and everything sounds good. Had a little problem last time. So, we got a big field ahead of us. I'm going to try to get it planted. Should be able to in this stream. But we ain't going to get done if we don't get it started. So let's get this old tractor started up. I'm just going to jump right in it. We are full. I got a couple more bags over there. We're probably going to need more. I can already tell. We'll have to go get bags during the stream, unfortunately. So let's get her in gear and head down the road. Or across the way, anyway. Still got our GPS on from the last field, so that'll help out. Just jump across over here to the other side of our farm. Really need to fill this in over here. Looking a little empty. And hope you all are having a good night. And hope to see some returning viewers. Had some new people chat last time, and it's very much welcome. I don't think we got any rain coming, but it is supposedly cloudy. We'll just see. Alright, so let's get this. We got the auto width. And turn the lines on. And before I do that, I need to make sure we're at 90. Or pretty close to it. That'll work. Set our A point. Drive forward. That'll probably work. And set our B point. We got that. So I think we are good there. We are going to spin around. I actually messed that up. We're going to have to do it again. Now that I think about it. No, we won't. It'll be alright. That should work. That's fine. We'll go on this one. Hope everybody had a happy Halloween. Got lots of candy if you went trick-or-treating. And hopefully it was fun for you. Everybody stayed safe. Know we got a lot of goofballs out there putting stuff in candy. It's unfortunate, but it's the nature of the beast sometimes. And hopefully everybody made it, incident-free. Nothing wrong. And just like that, we are planning. And we are not. Let's see what's going on here. Something to do with this field, maybe? Let's turn our help window on, see what we got going on here. Left seeder, turn off seeder. Well, we should be going. I'm going to drive a little bit, and then we'll check the map and see if it's actually planting. See if I didn't have something going on here. Let's look at map view. it's not showing nothing. So what do we got going here? Showing withered. The only thing I can think of is let's lift this up. Get out of this. Because we didn't plant nothing. So I wonder if it's showing, I don't know if we had an update or something. Maybe it showed not plowed. Because it looks different than these fields. So I'm trying to figure out what is going on there. So I will cheat a little bit to, let's go to F12 menu. And that's field 19, I do believe. That's not it. That's not it. It's got to be this one. No field. What's that? Field ground. Okay, so we need, I do believe this is 19. Ground type. Cultivated seed bed. Let's do seed bed. Fertilize. Yeah, because we fertilized it. 100%. Lime. Yes. And that. Confirm. Okay, so that changed it. So now we should be good to go. Get lined back up. I know that takes away from our immersion and our realism, but something funky was happening there. Yeah. Come up here a little bit. And let's go ahead and lower. Which we believe is V. There we go. And we are planting now. So now we can get on with it. She is I don't know what made it do that. And while we're going to shut the help window off, you can see we are planting corn. So, yeah, I don't know what the deal with that was. Get that off out of there. I hope that hill right there isn't going to give us too much trouble. Drop down a gear. Might need to go get the big horse out now that I think about it. We'll actually get up on top of this hill and we'll detach and we'll go get the big horse. I really do like this tractor, and it does just fine, has plenty of power, but man, these hills are just killing it. Yeah, that's what I think we're going to do. We're going to go get the big horse. So I'm going to hit the brakes on her right here and jump out of it. Oh, I guess we probably need to X and then fold. It's going to fold up. Should stay in the same tracks though. Not the way I'd like to do it, but it is what it is. And then we will go ahead and pull off over here. Now the tires in the back are being all weird. I wonder if it's something with this save game. There, she's kind of tracking all right. And what we'll do... Yep, I still got that on. All right. What we're going to do here is Can. Do that. Z. Jump in. We're going to go get the big horse. It'll put us a little bit behind schedule. We'll be planting in the dark most likely, but we need a little bit more horses to get up them hills. Drive through the grass here. And we shall just pull up right in here. Shut her down. I do believe the big horse is over in here. And this is one of those sheds you actually got to open from the inside. There she be, the answer to all our prayers. And it's automatic, so that's nice. It's beautiful. And she scoots. And don't forget, your clocks go back tomorrow. You gain an hour of sleep. Me, myself, in real life, I got chores and stuff I got to do with my livestock, and now I'm going to be doing them both during the dark, and that's, let me tell you, my favorite thing to do. So, gotta love it. Be coming up here, get her spun around. About lined up the best we can anyway. I can't believe with all the hydraulics on here, there is no hydraulic hoses that need hooked up. But oh well. Let's see. Turn the GPS on. And then we'll get down here and get set up. Go ahead and unfold the cedar. Try to line it up with the edge of the field, do a little better job than we did last time. Get that 90-degree mark close as we can. Too far. Me being a perfectionist. Control Alt S. B2. auto width. And we want to show lines, yes. Okay. Set A. About that far. And set B. Now, we'll spin around here. And get lined up again. Off there about 1.5, 2, somewhere in there. We are going to turn the planter on, drop her down. We're going to see how she chug-a-lug-a-lugs up the hill. See if she does it any better. 9 mile an hour, holding strong. Should see a little decrease in speed, but not much. Better than the 4 mile an hour we were doing on the other tractor, and gives it a little break. This is a little bit, I think this tractor probably made for these hills a little bit more. And relatively, once we get over this, it's pretty flat, so it's unfortunate we had to go to the big horse, which will waste more fuel. But it's got the powers for this big old hump. And maybe that's what we need to, you know, realize for these rolling hills that we got here, that, you know, we need to think big horses on our next tractor purchase. But nevertheless, we're getting the corn in these big fields, and it's we're gonna have a lot of profit to make. That field over there, this field, and then them 2 fields right there will be beans. So we're gonna have a pretty good sized crop on both. Kind of hoping that it's very profitable for us. We should be millionaires. We should be, I would think. We might even try to lease a bigger combine. I don't know if we'll go directly to the X9, but that's a goal. Case has got a pretty good size one, but but we could see what New Holland's got to offer too. A lot of them out there. Don't forget about Gleaner. I don't think they got a real big one, but you know, that's always an option as well. But it is November now, and I do believe what is it, 10 more days we get our Farm Sim 25 out. It's getting ever closer. And then we're going to do a that Saturday that we get it. Let's actually take a look here. The calendar. The 12th is on a Thursday. So on the 14th, probably will be probably be a really long stream just messing around with 25. So look forward to that. I know I am. I will probably be playing it off camera for a while. So we'll just have to see how it goes and how much time I got. But we are definitely going to need more seed on this. Kind of curious to see what was the problem with this. Go ahead and lift up there and spin out. Got a little carried away there. That's all right. Corn's looking phenomenal. There's going to be a lot of GPS driving and big old field, so definitely a lot to talk about. I know some of you are probably doing some stuff on Saturday night. Take a little bit to get in here. It's probably what I ought to be doing, but I'm a boring guy, so here I am. Planting corn. What's going on, biggin? How are you doing this evening? Just relaxing with us tonight, are you? Or are you just jumping on before you get your plans underway for Saturday? Oh, okay, gotcha. There ain't nothing wrong with that. It's just like usual. It's planting. Got the GPS, so I don't waste none, and so just mainly I get on these and chat with people, talk about random stuff. Obviously, we keep it PG rated around here as best we can, but yeah, it's just to kind of chillax and hang out and get some work done while we do it. It's not the most exciting stuff. Big thing is, FS25 right around the corner. Get ready for that and trying to draw up some plans of what I'd like to do with it. Of course, I get the same information you guys do on it. I'm not no special guy that get inside or anything. So, my favorite tractor in the whole wide world is a John Deere 4020 with a front end loader on it. So it kind of holds dear to my heart, and it's what I learned to drive. And first I learned how to drive and operate, so it's my favorite. You got a favorite tractor? I wouldn't call me a real farmer. I have done farming in real life when I was younger. I'm more / a kind of a rancher guy myself. I own cattle and all that. Not that many, but that's where I'm trying to get my I guess, how would you say it, my future career going. I work just like anybody else right now, and trying to have an end game so I can be on my farm and raise cattle and sell cattle, and probably eventually do a little bit of farming. If I get real big, do silage and stuff like that. So I'll be chopping corn in real life. Dreams take time, and so until that time comes and I get the money saved up, I'm on here, kind of getting my fix, as you can say. and then the ranch and stuff. That's why, hence the name Cowboy Coal. To where I came up with it. I ain't taking away from many of all them real cowboys out there. But I do some of it. I don't rodeo or nothing like that. Like watching it. It can be fun. I got actually a couple heifers out there that are probably, man, they got to be getting close giving birth. So I'm going to be expanding before too long. Oh, cool. I don't have too much experience in real life with the 715 quad track. I know it's very expensive and fairly new, I want to say. I'm not a case guy. I've always kind of leaned towards the John Deere stuff, but it's a beast. A lot of power. 4020 to me is just obviously I've got my reasons, but it's let's say, it's just an old reliable tractor. It really is. There's a lot of them still around, whether they're running or not. They last forever. Hey, and a lot of people like tractors because of the look. There ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, I like the old style trucks and stuff, just for the looks of them. Yeah, they do work for that. That is for sure. And I had a series on here I need to go back to one of these days. And that's what I used for mine was a 40. I think I used the 4320 so I could have the extra power if I needed to do it. But they looked the same and everything like that. But that's what I was using on the Ranch series. I really liked that series, but it was one of those deals where it's kind of like awkward and didn't really know what I was doing because I started out on there and everything. So, well, if you don't mind me asking, where are you from? Kind of get an idea. You don't have to be exact if you don't want to. Just give me a state. Kind of like to keep track of everybody I talk to. Just to say, hey, I talked to a feller from here. Wisconsin? Cool. It's really neat to be able to do all that. Talk to people across the states. And I even got one guy that's from Sweden that gets on here and chats it up with me. So, heck yeah. Yeah, that's far. Well, I'm old enough to remember pen pals and stuff like that where you'd talk to people, from other countries and everything like that, and they don't do that no more, so this is kind of like the next best thing. But I like to, chat with people and see how they do things where they're at, and is it different from what I do, or is it pretty similar? So, now let me ask you this: you said you got a YouTube for your dog. What was it? Just you training them, or just doing adventures with him, kind of recording it? What was the deal with that? Oh, you should, man. It's pretty fun. I was contemplating doing this, and then I seen so many people doing it on YouTube. Of course, I'm not original myself, but I played this game so much. I was like, oh, I'll record it and see if it goes anywhere. If it goes anywhere, maybe it can help me fast forward my plans a little bit and quit my day job quicker. If it doesn't, oh well. But it'd be neat if it did. But I'm not banking on it. But you ought to definitely try it. You ought to, for sure, because it's an experience, and it how do you say it? Just like, I don't know, it's pretty cool, especially when you get people on here, like for yourself, and just sitting there chatting with people and everything like that. You can do a live thing with that. Maybe show some people some stuff they didn't know, and make some friends. And some people will watch you and they'll actually learn from you, and you'll actually, not to sound cliche, but you'll change their life. With the day and age we live in, there's some people out there that's got problems that they won't admit to or tell anybody, but just watching your videos could really help them. So that's kind of why I do it. Yes, I am. For sure. I am definitely ready for FS25. It's just like it's right around the corner, and it won't get here quick enough, Do you plan on playing it? And if you are you on PC or are you on a console? You got it pre-ordered? Heck yeah, buddy. Did you get the, since you pre-ordered it, weren't they giving some extra stuff with it? You get the MacDon pack, I do believe, and there's some other stuff. I think if you pre-ordered it or bought a certain deal on it, you got like the starter key and everything too. It was like an extra thing you could add realism to your simulator at home. Now the MacDon pack, I have to look at it for myself unless you know. Is it just the swather, or do you actually get the MacDon headers to go with it? But I try to myself. I try to. I watch a lot of that one guy on there. I think it's DJ Goham. I think is the channel guy I watch to update with that and Clutch Simulations when they do their Farm Sim news. I watch a lot of that to kind of keep up with what's going on with it. They kind of seem like they're in the know. I know Farmer Cop's out there. Yeah, DJ I think is a cool guy. But yeah, they seem pretty knowledgeable on all that stuff, and I like their playthroughs and kind of. I've actually, believe it or not, I've learned a lot from DJ just watching him and how he goes about doing stuff. I'm not a fan, and don't get me wrong, I'm not a fan of the the fast farming stuff. I know some people are, but that's just not my thing. But he does get a lot of work done, and he shows how to do stuff. Another guy I learned from kind of the GPS and all that other stuff is, what's his name? It's right there now. Kurdic Farms. Or Kurdic Farms. It's an older guy. But he's how I learned how to do the GPS through, and the just watching him. and the auto drive. Now I will say this, I'm having a problem with auto drive, and I don't know if it's this map or not, but for some reason I can't get the points to show up so I can edit them. And I've done some research, and I have to clear a cache, I think, because there's an update to NVIDIA or something. I don't know what all that means, really. It's just what they said, and you have to bring it back to its last level. But with Farm Sim 25 coming around, I'm just going to kind of let it ride and just go without it. Yeah, I've learned a thing or two from them, and they know a lot. I feel like they have gotten to play FS25 more than most people. Yeah, they have. You know, with them being Giants partners, you kind of get a little bit more than the next. Like, they probably already, I'm sure they've already got the full game already. It would not surprise me. And just like your modders, they should get it like a week or two early so they can start making mods for it. That's my interpretation of it. I could be wrong. Granted, I don't know everything. But I think it would probably be smart on them, because especially if they're Giants partners, that way they can get content out because they're helping sell the game. I think you have to click on the custom course play map. What you talking about? Oh, for the auto drive? Might have to look at that. But from what I'm seeing, a lot of people on YouTube, and I haven't looked in the last day or two, it's like they get, I think they keep showing the demo version. Now, I wonder if that's a Giants thing to where they might have the full game, but they're not allowed to record it. You know, they can record, but they can't post it on YouTube yet. Am I trying to make a custom map? No. I want to eventually to make a map of my area that I live in, but I'm not smart enough to do that yet. I have to do a lot more looking and everything like that. So how long have you been playing the Farm Simulator series? What was your first farm sim that you got and started messing with? Oh yeah, I've done that before. Custom field using course play. I've done that. I actually harvested all of these fields that had weed on them using course play. But the problem I was having was with the auto drive going to the grain elevator. And I think it honestly has something to do with this map, to be completely honest with you. Playing since 19. That's when I've got into it heavy. It's kind of when I started playing it. I dabbled with 17, but I wasn't really into it. But no, I like this map because the field, you know, it's a 4X, and I like big acreage. Now that doesn't really, like on a live stream, like what we're doing here, where I can chat, you know, while I'm working and getting stuff done. It works, you know. But for like a regular video series, I think I made one video on this series. It was like 20 minutes long, and I felt like, you know, I had to do a lot of work to get one video out. And so I just kind of made this my live stream series. But yeah, I want to make a map somewhere in Wisconsin because there's not a lot of good ones. I agree. They've got a couple of 16x maps out for Kansas, and that's where I'm at. And I'm not real fond of them either. So I don't know. Unless they're from, I feel like unless they're from that state, you really don't get good maps, you know, that really match the area. Of course, they're limited on what they can do, buddy. At the same time, I mean, you just see it from coming from 19 all the way to here where we are getting ready to go to 25, just leaps and bounds they've come across. So, but yeah, I'm going to figure it out one of these days. And I actually thought about paying a modder one of these days if I can link up with one to make a map. Like, I want it, like, send them GPS, the location, actually have them look at it, look at the area, and get everything right. Because I like the area I'm in. And it's kind of it's not open like everybody thinks it is in Kansas. But up there in Wisconsin, I agree with you 100%. That'd be pretty cool. I'd play a map from Wisconsin for sure. I haven't spent too much time in Wisconsin, just kind of driving through it. But it's very pretty country up there for sure. But a lot of it just irritates me. Like being in Kansas. Yeah, I hear you on that, buddy. But no, like, you see Nebraska maps coming out. You see Oklahoma maps coming out, especially in 19. Then you see a lot of Missouri maps, and I'm just like, man, I'm right here in the middle of all that. Just make some maps. You know, give me something that looks remotely close to what I'm used to. But the only one that I could think that was really kind of remotely close was the very first Kansas map. It was a 16X. And it was kind of create your own field. So I could create my own area. And the map wouldn't I could download to the game in my modded folder, but it wouldn't let me play it. Like, it made no sense to me. But again, I'm not the smartest when it comes to computers. I just kind of got into computers myself. But I was originally playing all that on console. I had a PlayStation 4 to be exact. And I finally said I want to try it on PC because I want the mods that everybody has that makes it look cool. So... yes, I watched The Squad. That's actually probably one of the first groups I watched. Unfortunately, not to sound like I'm trash talking or anything like that, once Grant, the main guy, once he got his own farm, I kind of feel like, of course that's going to be his priority because that's what he's always wanted to do, and I'll never dog on a guy for wanting to follow his dreams. But it does suck when you watch him, and he did so good, and then you kind of watch the videos. They're still good, but it's like they're quick. And maybe he just figured it out to make you want more. Yeah, I think I was right around that time when I started watching him too. They said he was just as big as Mr. Beast at one time. But yeah, no, I wish he would make, them videos and them series that would actually be like a storyline like he used to. And, I don't really, I know why he does it, but I don't really care for like, the special holidays where they go out on a lake and play tag on boats or whatever it is they do. That's, the off-road stuff's cool every now and then, but it's like probably about the time they started doing the rolling coal customs. That's where I'm like, oh, okay, this ain't farm sim no more. This is vehicle mechanic simulator. And like I said, my opinion is probably not very popular, but that's just how I felt. But what he's doing works for him. He's probably bigger than I'll ever be, so who am I to say, hey, I don't like that stuff? Because it was him and his group that got me into this. So I just thought it was cool what they used to bring to the table and how they used to keep me entertained for hours. But that's when I kind of started watching Kurdic Farms too. He's got some long old streams now. And he does these big fields kind of like I do. I think his new one he's doing is in Nebraska. And he's got a couple hour, live streams on it and everything like that. Clutch usually does pretty good. Clutch is funny to me, and I don't know, maybe it's just because I get his humor, but evidently all these guys are a little bit older, than the younger guys, so maybe that's why I like watching them the most. Feels like a big corporate farm. That makes sense. Yeah, I can see that. Alright, I'm going to have to do some cheating here real quick. Bear with me. Just because I want to keep the conversation going and not have to stop and go get seed. So apologies. 5,800 liters. I am going to write that down though, because I guess I probably need to put this down. And then go. Yeah, massive equipment. Yeah, that's the cool thing about this one. You're looking at our biggest piece of equipment. What mod is that? You can fill the seed like that. Okay, so if you go, it's your easy dev controls, and what you'll do is you'll hit F12. It's your F12 menu, and you can add money, you can remove money, set money, do your time scales you want. You can do flight mode. That's how those guys, do it like they're flying a drone and stuff. You can teleport vehicles. Yeah, it's actually a must thing, I think. You get super strength, all that. Then you can do pretty much. You can add everything. You can delete stuff. Like if you got those trees that you don't want to, instead of having stumps, you can just delete them. But right here on this one, you can fill fuel in your tractor, and you can fill whatever you got. Like if you got a, if you got a grain truck you want to fill up just to test something, you can do that. So this whole thing is pretty much made for streamers or stuff like that. I was using it before I started streaming and everything, but it makes it easier, so we ain't got to stop our progress while I'm sitting here talking to you and go stop and go get seeds. So, and then I keep track when I do that, because the realism I like to keep is I'll take the money out later, and that's easy dev controls will come in there again. We had, I can't remember how much money we had in there, but to fertilize all these fields off camera, because the drive was so far to refill the sprayer with fertilizer and everything, what I did is just kept track of it, how much times I filled it and how much, and then I just subtracted the total plus what it cost to buy the fertilizer. That way I could get it where I needed it to. Because when you're streaming, you just kind of like, I want to be realistic with you guys, but as long as it's done, if it's not recorded. But you should definitely add that. It's a game changer for sure. I've got a ton of mods too in here. Like if I ever streamed with somebody, I'm gonna have to delete some because they probably won't want to download it. Another one I do is the tire. I can't remember what it's called, but the dirt or lime and stuff on the tractors and tires. So right now our tires got dirt on them, and if I drove out on the road, it would, leave marks, and then the tires would clean off. I don't think the sidewalls will, but the treads will. So that's just another realism thing I try to do anyway. Yeah, I can't remember. Man, it seems like I bet I've got 30, 35 mods on this save game. My other series I'm doing is the Through the Years. That's a mod too, to where you can only buy. It'll actually, you set the date you want to start. So I started in 1985, and because that's kind of the generation of tractors and everything that I remember and watching around here. And so you can only, every year it changes. So next year will be 86, and so on and so forth. But the tractors you can't buy until the year they come out. So you actually got to, if you're going to do big time operations, then you've got to do it with whatever's available at the time. So I'm running a 60 style yeah, it is. It's on Mod Hub, I do believe. Yeah, it is, because a lot of I don't do. There's a few mods I did outside of Mod Hub, just because I'm a little nervous about doing stuff online. But yeah, all this is in Mod Hub. There ain't too many. I think the 60s combines, like the old gassers that they used to have, those were online, and I did it. I want to say it's itch.io is where you can find those. Old iron mods, but when it comes to like regular tractors like this one, just whatever Mod Hub's got. If you go into, I do believe, the gameplay settings, or not the gameplay settings, the gameplay tab on your mods, and it should be in there. There's a ton of them, and it just adds realism to it. The dust scale, I can turn the dust scale up and down. Like right now we're blowing that much dust, but I can make it to where we can't see the tractor or anything. I can change how fast the yeah, they are the best. I've got a couple Gleaner combines too, some old school ones, some old Massey's, that, well, heck, I can actually probably just show you. Let me hit the brakes on this real quick so we don't drive off the map. So I've got US Farm Trucks, Pack, FS Classics. These two right here are the mods off the internet. Let's see here. Go to harvesters. So we got the old axial flow cases, and here's the Gleaners from Agco. 72 model, N series, S9, R65, Gleaner A8. Sorry, that's a tongue twister. A85. Can you harvest sorghum with a soybean header? I think so. Should be able to do. Now I know what you're talking about. I think, just a second, and I'll get there. Here's the Hillco series John Deere's. You see how they're all leaning, so they can lean with the hills. I could downloaded those, and these are the combines I got off of the internet. The 8820, I do believe, is what I'm using on that other series. So, but let's see here. Corn headers. So these should all sorghum with a soybean header. So these would all technically be soybean headers, and sorghum is right here, right after the soybean. So you should, but the ones you're talking about, I think, possibly, because I found this out on the last episode, okay, so all of these all crops. Now it's funny, if you click on them, these all crops, they only show soybeans. and it will not cut nothing but soybeans. But 453, 253. But if you move down a little bit more, these right here, same thing, will cut corn, sunflowers, and I can't remember what that is, that symbol. But yeah, your regular soybean crop headers, which would be your wheat headers and everything like that, they should all do soybeans and all that. Yeah, sorghum. Yeah, they all got sorghum on them, so you should be able to do that. I don't see why not. Main thing with the mods and everything like that is making sure your PC can run efficiently with it and it doesn't get too hot, because all that memory and everything it takes. What do you think of the WB 6000 auger? Now, which one is that? I don't know if I've got that one yet. Is that just dropped or new, or? I'm wondering, is the 6000 oh, I think I know what you're talking about now. Is it the I know what you're talking about. Auger wagons. Yeah, here these, the walkabout mother bins. Yeah, this is nice to have on the side of the hill, on the side of a field. Definitely don't want to be going down the road on these, because even though all these tires turn, I've used this a couple times, and being new to it all, I tried to make it like an actual auger wagon, fall behind a tractor to make stuff easier. But what I found is this thing gets so heavy because it don't have an unrealistic mod added to it. So when they have that unrealistic tab that you can click on when you're buying the equipment, it actually makes it act like it doesn't weigh nothing. When this thing gets full, that's 211. I'm trying to figure out if that's 114,000 or what it is. I can't remember the meters. But yeah, that thing gets a lot of things stuck. So it's definitely good to have. It's nice to have on the side of the field. My go-to is, where's it at? I'll either use the Hall Master here, or I've used the Demco 1100 a couple times. Kenzie, I've used the 1051. It's all right. I don't have too many. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I either do the Hall Master or Demcos usually. Usually John Deere stuff for my older things. But that's about it. Well, there was one in trailers too I use, I think. Yeah, this one right here, the 1210A. They've got it in trailers, but it's an older style. I like the nostalgia of the old stuff, so I try to kind of lean towards that. So that's something I use. But anyway. What's your favorite harvester you use, your combine? What's your go-to on this game? It's not good. Yeah. Doesn't turn as sharp as you'd like it to, huh? Go a little in cab here. Change it up a little bit. Yeah, I was on here. I was messing around with it. I can't remember if I was streaming or not now. But I had a. What was I doing? Oh, I was putting anhydrous in the ground on this actual field right here, and it started snowing. That was really fun. Couldn't tell where I would been and everything like that. Because after a while, the snow would just pile up and it would, show take away your lines that you've plowed, because I was skipping rows is what I was doing. It did. It very much did. I got her done, though. A lot of it was guesswork. Tell you what, though, what I'd like to see happen more than anything, I wish like YouTube would get the I don't know how to say it, like allow us to use music, like actual music, instead of weird stuff, as I like to call it, when we're streaming and stuff, or just in a regular video. I know they can't, because lawyers and everything get involved, but they feel like they're taking money out of people's mouths or whatever it is. Copyright's a darn thing, you know it. That's what that would yeah, it's copyrighted music in game, right? Yeah. I think even the in-game stuff. Well, I'm not for sure. Now that you say that, I'm not for sure. But I would like, for instance, if we're going in cab, where's it at? The radio over here. I'd like to, I think it was, Grand Theft Auto that did it. You'd turn on the radio station and actually play actual music instead of made up stuff. I think that'd be a cool aspect to the game. Or if there was a mod out there that you could, hook up a radio station whenever you clicked onto your tractor, and you picked whatever radio station in the country and listen to it. I mean, we're all about being realistic. It is a simulation game, so why wouldn't that be part of the conversation? You know what I mean? If Rockstar can get music rights and stuff like that, why couldn't, this game? Yeah, I think it is too. I don't think it's actually, I'm not a modder myself either, but I think it would be pretty easy. I think the hardest thing would be trying to link up the radio stations. Like I know a lot of farmers that are football fans. When they're out there on the fields, they're listening to the live game broadcasts and stuff like that. So that'd probably be the hard thing. Is getting all the licensing for, like the NFL or college, and stuff like that. And It might just be more than a hassle than it's worth, and that's why they haven't done it yet. Who knows? Is it getting pretty cold up there in Wisconsin right now? I know it's starting to cool off here in Kansas. Easy way would be an MP3 file on the mod, but live would be hard. Yeah, I could see that. Live would be hard. Another. Yeah, it's pretty cold here. What's your temperatures ranging now? We got a storm, over us. Well, it's not really a storm, it's just a good old soaker. And so we're kind of in the 60s and 70s, getting high at 80s. But you being farther north, I wonder if there's a big temperature swing. Another thing that would be cool, for a realistic aspect of it, and I don't think it'd be that hard. It's colder, but not super cold, around 47 here, but that's at night. Yeah, we've dipped down in the 40s a little bit here too, so I understand that. But the other mod that'd be pretty cool would be, I don't know how you would do it, but like, let's say if they, for instance, they made your Wisconsin map or they made me a Kansas map. Get, like, the forecast or even go off the old Farmer's Almanac and do actual, like, what it's supposed to be at certain times. Like if it's raining here, could it rain on the game? Like something you could click into and your game automatically matches up with, your local news station or whatever, and do what the outside's actually doing. That would be pretty cool, but that might be stretching it a little bit too far. You know what I mean? Oh, I bet. But I'm just playing in the aspect of money's no option. Cool stuff. Kind of just a dreaming phase, for say. There's just a little, it's kind of just like, I don't know, just picking at little things, but it just like, just those two things that we just got done talking about, it would be, yeah, maybe that'll be a thing, yeah, for sure. But, if you think about it, just those two things, how much more, I don't know how you would say it, would it make it more interactive? Would the bang match the buck, I don't know, but it would definitely open up this game. Heck, I'm just happy that they added tornadoes and ground deformation in the next one, I guess. I shouldn't be dreaming too big. Yeah. See, he's got them Starlink satellites, so maybe he can help us out with that. I actually looked into that Starlink internet. Man, that is expensive starting off, but they say it's good. I think my local internet provider does pretty darn good. No drop frames, no nothing. So have you grown up in Wisconsin your whole life, or did you move there, or what's the born and raised kind of thing, or what? Born here? Cool, cool. I was born and raised here in Kansas, and I moved to Florida for about 9 years, and ended up coming back here and settling down on the family farm, and kind of took over. So you live out in the country town, got your own farm yourself, or in town? Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with that. It's like a 3-minute drive. And you're in the country? Okay, gotcha. So a smaller town, or so that town I live in, you count everybody, their dogs, their cats, and their goldfish. I think we got 795 people, and I live 3 miles outside of town. So it's like a quaint village, really, when you look at it. Keep getting closer to the side of that over there. Your town is technically a village? How many people you got in it? Used to guess. $4,000 maybe, probably more. That's actually not too bad. That's still pretty small, in today's standards. Hey man, don't apologize for it. I'm glad you're in here chatting. It makes this field work go by a little better. You ain't got to apologize for nothing, buddy. I'm actually happy that this game does so well, because seems like kind of farming's like a lost treasure. Not a lot of people in it anymore, so we're gonna need farmers for the rest of time. So hopefully enough people get involved with it. But hey, it's pretty cool. You're playing right alongside. I don't know how I feel about this time falling backwards. I don't really like doing chores in dark, but it's got to be done sometimes. Kind of don't get no option. It's got to be done. You saying backbone of farming, or farming is the backbone? Is that what you're meaning? I agree 100%. Do you ever aspire to be a farmer in real life? Hell yeah. It's hard work, but I think it's probably one of the most rewarding jobs out there if I was to, say anything about it. There might be a lot of people that want to do it, but there's a lot of people that can't. Yeah, I tell you what, the sooner you can get it, the better, because it seems like acreage only goes up more and more. I don't know what acre prices are in Wisconsin, but I want to say around here, decent farm ground is going to be probably around the 6,000 an acre. Not for sure. It's been a while since I actually looked at it. I want to say I can actually remember a time when it used to be $100 an acre. Yeah. Definitely get your experience in it. It does help, but just remember there are people out there that. Well, that's the cool thing about it, bud, is there's, believe it or not, the farmers out there, even though you guys are technically in competition with each other, they'll actually help you out. I'm not the only guy around here that runs cattle, and I'm telling you, I'm 35 years old, so I'm not a young kid, but I'm not an old guy yet. I'm right there in the sweet spot. But a lot of the guys around here are a lot older, in their 60s or even 70s, and you'd be surprised how willing they are just to teach you on the fly and show you stuff because they just think it's so cool. They call me kid because I'm younger than they are. That they open up all that knowledge. If somebody is willing to learn and not waste their time, they'll give you so much knowledge and they'll actually appreciate it. Because that's all them old guys want, is to pass their knowledge on to somebody that's going to, use it and not just forget it 5 minutes later, So, don't be scared about that. It is smart to do, like you're saying, don't get me wrong. But just because you don't have all your I's dotted and your T's crossed, don't mean you shouldn't do something. There is stuff you can learn on the fly. I know that sounds a little bit like fake it until you make it, which is never a good option, but you'd be surprised how many people will help you and let you learn right alongside of them. They might... Yeah, it is really nice. And it's just a common misconception that you think that, nobody's going to help you out. Believe it or not, you got a lot of your farmers are good Christian, easygoing, really knowledgeable stuff, because they're going to look at it as like, man, when they started, they didn't have all the answers either. They just knew they had a dream and a passion, and that's what they wanted to do. So they'd probably look at you and go, hey, if I can help this guy out, it makes me feel better about myself. It's kind of like that American dream thing you want to give your kids, the things you didn't have when you were younger. Well, it's kind of the same thing with passing down that knowledge. It's kind of like, in real life, for instance, like you're playing Farm Sim right now alongside with me, and you're keeping a chat up and everything like that. Just doing that, information I can give you about the game, I'm willing to do just because you're holding a conversation. It's the same thing out there in the real world. If you was to ask me questions, if I don't know, I'll straight up tell you I don't know. But if I do know, I'll stop what I'm doing and say, yeah, here, you go over here, Or, if I can stay in game and tell you anyway. So we're about to run out of seed again. I'll have to do my little trick. See if we have enough to get to the top of the hill. Hey, Sweden. I was wondering if you were going to come in here. How much money will I get when I harvest? Talking about just on this field or overall? Both. On this field alone, man, it's actually, trying to think. I want to say I would be, this field by itself, I want to say there shouldn't be no reason why I can't get a couple $100,000 out of it. No, I didn't mean to hit that button. Sorry. But yeah, overall, out of all these fields that I own, I should be a millionaire after next harvest. I'm hoping to try to get done before Farm Sim 25 comes out because I want to see that. And Sweden, I'm streaming today. Like I said, I've been trying to stick to that schedule I told you about. And, Saturday's my streaming days. Hopefully to turn into more, but I got to thinking about it. I probably should have put it on the community thing, but I didn't. But I just figured, I was like, well, heck, I stream every Saturday, so. Or try to, anyway. I know I was real bad about it there for a while. What's up in the world of Sweden today? Oh, crap. I hit the wrong button again. I'm getting horrible at this. If you were wondering, my brother went 150 into that boar. It looked about 90 kilograms. I thought you said his car couldn't go that fast, Sweden. What we got going on there, Last time I talked to you, 93.2. Yeah, it takes us a little bit to switch over from Swedish or the metric to the here mile per hour. Piper, if you don't mind me asking, you want me to call you Piper, or you got a name you'd rather me call you by? Oh, I see. So your brother's got a little mechanical knowledge, does he? Okay. Well, I mean, I can call you Piper too. That don't bother me. I just don't want to, You said that was for your dog's channel. I don't want to be calling you by your dog's name. Sweden, was your brother okay though? Like, you didn't get hurt or anything? Yes, he was all right. Well, that's good to hear. Glad to hear that. Did you at least pick up the boar and put it in the back of the trunk and cook it later, or was it pretty much disintegrated? Well, 90 kilograms. How heavy is that in pounds? £198. Wow. Yeah, is this car totaled? Sweden, just to kind of give you a backstory, Piper here, until he gives me his real name or whatever he wants me to call him, I'm going to refer to him as that. He's from Wisconsin, which would be 2 or 3 states, probably 3 states north of me. Need a little bit up there in the cooler weather. And then obviously Piper Sweden is the guy I was telling you about earlier from Sweden. No, the front is trashed. Well, that's too bad. Is it so you're just going to get rid of it, throw it out to the pasture, or you going to try to rebuild it? And did you ever figure out your moped? Kind of curious to see about that. Dad's going to rebuild it and sell it. Probably not a bad idea. Now, did your brother get in trouble at all for hot rodding his car? Well, believe it or not, Sweden, I been doing some thinking offline here, and man, that thing's got me stumped. You got everything it needs to fire, but it just won't fire. And I know it's something simple. It's got to be. Yes. He's not getting a new one, but it's no legal. Well, that's depending, you know, are you a glass half full or half empty kind of feller. He wasn't drinking, was he? No, not this time. What is the drinking age over there in Sweden? Is it the same as America? Ours is 21. Oh, really? 18? That ain't bad. It used to be 18 here. Now, if you're military over here and you're on post, they'll let you drink at 18. Unless they changed it. Sorry if you can hear me eating, guys. I was starving. The girls brought a pizza home. And I do love me some pizza. Especially when I wash it down with Dr. Pepper. Last night I had a get together and a little retirement party for somebody, and I may or may not have delighted myself to some Jack and Coke. I could go for some pizza. Yeah, pizza's good anytime, buddy. I don't care who you are. Oh my goodness, we are really close to almost finishing this field. That's crazy. Well, I'll tell you what, Sweden. If I ever come there, I'm gonna and have enough money or get big time enough to come over there. I'm gonna find you, and you're gonna take me to all the eating spots. I'll promise you that. But you have to promise me one thing. You have to. I'll give you plenty of time notice if I'm coming. And you're going to have to schedule one of them boxing fights. I want to see you knock somebody out. There's no header trailer long enough for it? What header you got, Piper? John Deere HD50F, the in-game one. Okay, so let me get this stopped here real quick. HD50F. Alright, there's HD45X, HD50X. You should have an N60-45 Nardi. If you go back, like you actually click on the header, so there's what you're trying to get. If you go back to this menu and actually click, like, you know, click here and actually click on it, go down to the bottom, hit C, or actually click on it, and it'll show you the combinations, and it should show you the header that'll fit on it. And if you don't have that, it might be a another mod you might have to download. Just look at the header trailers and it'd be under Nardi. And yeah, so that should be the one you need right there. Ain't no problem, biggin. That's what I'm here for. If I can help at all, be glad to do so. Now, Sweden, is that a typo on your end? Is it a kebab pizza or a kebab pizza? Left on that. Get closer to the sides. Sure glad we switched to the big horse on this one. It's eating up these hills. That other tractor, I like using the other tractor myself, but it's just almost too much to pull these things up this hill. I mean, it's a big old hill. You get down ground level with it. That and the extra tires for compaction just helps out. So I'm pretty excited. It's not going to sound like much, but I was looking at my YouTube page and looking at all the analytics and everything like that, and it just seems like the last probably week or so. Now, when I actually tell you the numbers, don't make fun of me, but compared to what I'm used to getting, it exploded. Instead of getting, 20 to 50 views a video, now I'm getting 300 and some odd views. I'm already like at 100 hours of watch time. So with you guys here and actually physically talking to you, I want to just tell you guys thank you. I appreciate it. It's I know a lot of people out there kind of forget the fact that you guys are what helps us grow. So I just definitely wanted to say thanks to people that are actually chatting on here. I love chit chat. So I'm hitting my goals on my channel, and it's cute, kind of growing. It's not a fast grow, but it's not a slow grow either, if that makes sense. So subscribers are getting up there. I think I'm at 16 now, which is all right. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, would I like to have 1 million subscribers like now? Well, who wouldn't? But, you know, it takes time. Now if I can get my camera angles back. That's kind of goofy. That Through the Years series was a good choice. I have a mod and it's called a Draper and it is in the header section. Do you know what it is? What that is? Oh, sweet, and I'm gonna remember you. Don't get me wrong. I'm trying to I want to get big enough to where I can give you. I might be big enough already. I'm just not smart enough to figure it out. But I want to give you two, you and Piper here, you know, like a badge of some sort. You know, just kind of say thanks, kind of thing. Piper, you're 17th. Did you subscribe as soon as you got on this live stream? Because before I checked, I only had 16. Regardless, if you're subscribed, thank you. Back to your question. Okay, cool. I have a mod. It's called a Draper. Draper header. That's your just to kind of show you what it is there, Piper. Let's go over here. Your headers. Kind of explain this for you. The HD50 you're talking about, the D stands for Draper header. Okay? And what that is you see this belt system? I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the belt on there is your Draper belt. Because the old style, just kind of explain what I'm talking about, is here you go. I think. Okay, so if you look in here and you see how this has the auger on it, and there's no belt, that's a not Draper. Now the reason they go with the Drapers is because this right here is fixed. But when you get into the Drapers, what it allows this thing to do is if you got some uneven land, you know, this side could lift up and this side would be still down. It can flex with the ground, and that's why they did it. And when you get them bigger headers like that, your 50 or 60 footers, even in real life, they'll put tires on the back sides of them, and I think this, yeah, like this, and it'll actually move with the land. And you can actually see in here that, you know, they've got pivot points on it. And these tires will float with a surface. And that's what they're meaning by that. So if you got some hilly land, and you'll notice let's say you're harvesting wheat or corn or whatever the case may, or not corn, but you know, sorghum, you'll have a spot where it'll just drive over the top of it and won't cut it. Well, that's because it's a fixed deal. But that's what the Draper or Flex header, as they call it. What is the other version? The FD and yeah, I mean it's pretty it seems like a lot, but when you have somebody explain it in a certain way, and you might come across some stuff that I don't explain that well, but just ask. They can answer it, or I can answer it. What is the other one? Okay, so there's F, and I think F stands for the HD. What does that stand for? I know the D stands Draper, and the F is Flex, I think. Could be wrong. But see, even this small one here has got the Draper in it. But your ones with the augers, like I was saying, they don't flex. Because you can't flex that big old, because that's a long, continuous rod. But yeah, so if I ever figure it out, guys, I'm gonna give you guys some what do they call that, like a top badge or whatever it is. I'm not sure. I'm learning as I go. But definitely be expecting that down the road sometime. In Sweden, I was honestly kind of contemplating whether to do that TCG card shop tonight too. But, you know, obviously with Piper on here, I'm glad I didn't. He might not have clicked on me. But no, I like Farm Sim. I don't know if it'd confuse the channel or the algorithms or whatever if I did another game on here or not. That's where I'm kind of for sure. Man, we're going to have to fill this thing up probably one more time, if not more. This field's pretty big, guys. I ain't gonna lie. What is this field size? Let's go up here. And this one. Farmland. This field I'm on right now is 149.78 acres. It's pretty big. I think my next purchase for this farm after a combine, if I can get it all done before FS25 comes out, is I want to get a bigger seeder. Get that DB60, I think is what it's called, from John Deere. I've had a few channels in the past, and your channel looks like you have been doing it for years. Seeing your channel, I would never guess you would have 17 subs. So great. Hey, I appreciate it. I've actually not been doing this for very long. Again, I watch a lot of YouTube, and I try to get as much knowledge as I can, watching other people. And, you know, there's things like you can see, like the channel art and stuff like that. The only thing I could say I did that I'm guessing most people don't is I actually spent the money and got me a good PC. I've got the curved monitor. I've got two monitors. The curved monitor, an actual computer screen, and the other one I just bought it's just an old HD TV I had laying around that I use, and that's where I watch my OBS stream stuff. And so I have the game playing on the curved monitor and the other stuff going on the other screen. And then my computer will actually hook to Bluetooth, and I have a 70-inch TV in my room that I can put stuff on it too if I wanted to. But other than that, I'm so new, I don't know what to do kind of thing. But it's nice to hear that I'm doing something right, you know. So, thank you. Need to change my intro for my live streams up. Not liking it. But I'll probably change that when 25 comes out. Right now is probably the hardest growing channel you ever be. Yeah, I agree with that statement. I really do. But it's kind of like getting it's like anything else you do, just getting the word out there. Um, letting people know about you and, what's good, um, viewership and what's bad, if there is such a thing. One of my live streams, I had this is where I'm so new kind of thing, but I had people in the chat it was a spam or something, but they were writing derogatory comments and stuff in there, and I had to end the stream because I couldn't get it off. And I was getting so nervous because I don't want people thinking I allowed that kind of behavior and everything like that. And I kind of froze because I was reading it and what they were typing and everything like that, and it was just horrible. So, and to be perfectly honest, it still makes me gun shy a little bit whenever I see, like a new person actually type in the chat that I'm not used to. And so I kind of sit there and watch them and wait for it. It's pretty bad. I got to expect that, but it is what it is. Yeah, I understand we'll end up having that every now and then, but I think I've got it to where it won't be so bad. I haven't figured out the moderator thing, but I can't really, not for sure how to go about that, make people moderators and everything like that. And it's kind of hard for me to sit there and ask people to moderate because they've got to then be on my schedule, and can't afford to pay anybody, just starting out. Well, for moderators is hard. Yeah, it's just a lot. They gotta be pretty dedicated to you, kind of thing. Whenever you go live, they've got to be there watching. And then there's some people out there, don't get me wrong, that are they just want to do it. If they can be around, they can be around. If they can't, they can't. So let me ask you this, not to toot my own horn or make myself feel good. What is it about my channel that made you think that I've been doing it for a while? Is there something that stands out? Some channels make the regular moderators, but they end up having so many. Everyone in chat has a mods. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. I could see where that'd be wrong. If somebody gets out of control, if they're a mod, you can't kick them out, kind of thing. But no, I'm just kind of curious. Like it's kind of like feedback. I can't fix what I don't know is broken. What I think looks good or sounds good might not sound good to a lot of people. So when you get a lot of when people say, "Hey, you ought to try this," even if I don't try it, I still listen to it. Because you get kind of a general idea of what everybody's wanting or would like to see, this and that. Sweden, you still in there? I ain't heard from you in a minute. Make sure I ain't boring you. That's a good deal, buddy. Believe it or not, Sweden is the very first. I'm all over the road, guys. Sweden is the very first person to actually chat. And once he started chatting, we just sat there and started talking and talking and talking. Been here ever since. So that was pretty cool. That was my first stage in the live streaming thing. I didn't expect nobody to be on there. And then here comes Sweden just sitting there chatting me up. So for that, I definitely thank you, buddy. Might have to do the next live stream. Might have to do a different map to mix it up a little bit. Kind of might even do the through the years portion of it. Get some work done on that because I kind of finished out that year on that series in the last episode. I mean, it's still, was it October, I think, in the game. So there's nothing really left to do. We can still do fall tillage on that cornfield I just harvested, but other than that, it's kind of wrap up the year on it and be ready in spring to go plant. Which I'm still trying to figure out. I think I want to do cotton on that series too. I think that'd be really cool. I ain't gonna lie, them birds up there were kind of messing with me a little bit. Looked like a drone flying there for a second. Oh, okay, I got you. I actually, believe it or not, Piper, I like the. It makes me giggle because I kind of feel half retarded. I ain't gonna lie. The Through the Years series, I've been trying something with it, and I don't know how I feel with it. You might not be catching on to it. Excuse me, but I'm trying to have a little fun with it, per se. Oh crap! I gotta refill this. What I'm saying is in the beginning of those episodes, like the last episode, I was checking the corn out, and I wanted to how to say it, the time era songs. Like, we're in 1985, so I actually go back and I get on Google or on the internet and I look up, top songs for, like, that one was in October, so I looked up October of 1985, like what was one of the top tracks, and and I seen Money for Nothing in there, and that's some of the stuff I listen to because I'm goofy like that. And so I started singing it. And so that's what I did, act like I was, nobody's around. So I'm sitting there dancing and singing and saying the words. And oh crap. Yeah. So, and of course, original episode on that was the, how do you say, the old, the black truck there. I was actually doing what every person's probably ever done. And I was acting like I was using the restroom. So, and I got caught. I was peeing on the tire. I was wondering if people would get that, but evidently they did. So there we go. And I think that was one of my, videos that did very well. And maybe I need to add more of that. So I'm getting a little bit more comfortable as we go. And I can't say I came up with all that myself. There's another guy I watch, Piper. You're probably very familiar with him up there around your area. He's over in Minnesota as Millennial Farmer. I watch a lot of his stuff. And, he'll make he'll knock on the tire and say, is anybody in the restroom or something like that? Because it's real. It's what you do out in the field. There ain't no tree to climb behind. You go in the machine. So that's kind of where I got that from. So a little insider knowledge of where I get some of my ideas from. Well, we keep getting closer to the side of the field. Well, I appreciate it. I try to rein back the goofy, but the way it sounds is I need to be a little bit more goofy. It'd probably help me out. Which in real life, I'm kind of a goofball. I keep getting told, oh, you just need to be act yourself, and when you're around your buddies and everything, it's one thing, but when you're in a, let's just say it like this, you got a couple thousand people sitting in an auditorium, and you're up there on that stage at the microphone and the podium. You know how hard it is to be yourself in that moment, because you want to be professional and you want to do right and you want to impress people. But it's funny because if you just be yourself, you'd be so much more successful. And it's just like I'm right there on the ledge. I can't seem to jump off. But as you guys can tell in this stream so far, the more I talk with you and everything like that, the more I loosen up and everything. So there's method to it. And it'll come more and more. I wholeheartedly believe. And just like fine wine, everything gets better. But I'm glad I'm definitely glad that I earned a sub from you, buddy. I really am. I'm one of those that I'll remember a lot of stuff, like, different time frames that certain things happen, and they'll just kind of implant themselves in my memory. For whatever reason, it does that. So stuff like this, I'll remember this. Even if I ever get big, I'll remember little stuff like this. Yeah, I got my big break from pissing on a Ford tire in a video game. It's funny. The weather in the States, Sweden, I don't know, it's kind of like, it's nice. But I'm a little bit of a colder weather person. I like it when there's a little, chill in the air. I like drinking coffee in the morning when it's cold. Like I've said many times before, I can't, how to say it, I can't drink coffee when it's hot outside. Call me a weirdo. But it's getting down to the fall starting to cool down. Probably get in the mid 50s to mid 40s at night, and then be 60s, 70s, or just depend on what the weather's rolling in. We're like in a rainstorm right now. It's supposed to rain for the next 3 days, so the temperatures will be down because of it. I'm guessing, is it already snowing up there where you're at? Or did I already asked you that on past live streams? I'm trying to figure out when it's actually going to have a first snow here. Seems like it comes later and later in the year. I remember when I was a kid, it used to snow on Halloween. Now it seems like we don't even get snow till January, which makes no sense. Might sound bad, but I also, in my opinion, I think an older person is better to invest your time in, because a lot of the kids do quantity over quality versus you have a good upload schedule and good quality vids. Well, thank you. I just kind of got in a schedule. If you look back, it's kind of hard to tell, but I used to be bad about schedule. And this week, believe it or not, so don't give me too much credit, I just kind of actually got on a schedule. And I found out that's working better for me. So I'm trying to live to it. And Sweden knows. I was horrible. I was all over the place. And I didn't really understand the value of importance of the schedule. So right now, and it's subject to change, obviously, but I do Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays will be regular videos, and then I stream on Saturdays because that's my only free day to do it. And if I do stream any other day, just kind of like hey, I ain't got nothing to do, I'm bored, all my videos are made for the week, I'll put in the community tab that, hey, I'm going to stream tonight at this time. So, but yeah, that's what my schedule is at this point. Sweden says, not where I live, but there's most likely snow up north. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Now, I can't remember it. I have to look on the globe. The whole thing is you're goofy, that's a bit goofy as your YouTube resolution. It's a bit stretched. Now, what do you mean by stretched? Because I'm running on like I said, I'm running on a curved monitor. And I wonder if that has to do, and I actually put it back down to the resolution of the YouTube standards, the 16:9 or whatever it is. So I bet that's what it is. You're the second person to say something to me about it. Like, is it horrible? Yeah, it's a curved monitor. One of these days, if I figure out how, I'll take a picture of my setup and put it on the page and you can see what I'm talking about. Now, do you know off the top of your head, Piper, how to change that so I can make it not stretched? I guess I didn't think it'd be a big deal. Well, if you don't know, it's not the big deal. I would have never guessed it would have made it stretchy on the video. I guess I don't, when I'm watching, when I'll click on mine. Oh, okay. Uh, when I'm watching on the TV or something like that, one of my episodes, just kind of see how it came out on the other end, um, and to get a view on it, obviously. Um, I don't. I guess I don't notice it. It might just be something you have to actually look for. Or from my end, I'm not seeing it. So, and I'll pay attention to kind of see if I can kind of see it. So, but anyway, Sweden, I'll have to look on a globe, but I'm not for sure. I want to say up there where Piper's at, he's about same level um, north of the equator as you are, so he kind of gets the same weather, I think. Probably not exactly the same weather, but the same temperatures. I know it gets pretty cold up there. So Piper, you're playing Farm Sim like right alongside me. What are you harvesting right now, and what are you harvesting? Is it just the sorghum you were asking, or right above the Lake Vanner? Let me pull that up. I'm kind of curious where it's at. Oops. Oh, I lied, Sweden. You're a lot farther north. You are, so you would actually be getting colder than he would. Lake Vanner, north of the town. Let's type that out. KR Carl Koga. Doesn't change anything. Bad is just on the RPM scale. It's a bit stretched, not stretched. I don't know how to explain it, but there's nothing wrong with it. And if you don't feel the need to change it, don't. Does not affect it. Oh, okay. I got you. All right, I'm looking at Carl's Koga. I think is how you pronounce it. Switch that up to satellite view. Kind of curious. And I just bought some land, so I have some sorghum that needs to be harvested first. You know, I tell you what, I'm not very happy with. That's the only thing I wish they would change. The game starts you off in August when you're harvesting, and I get why they do it, but man, it'd be nice to have it in the spring. Oh shit. That's why you don't text and drive, guys. Right there. I'm looking up where Sweden is and wasn't paying attention. Man, that's a big old lake, Sweden. Holy crap. There's a racetrack close to where you live? Heck yeah. I do like me some racetracks. Hard mode should be spring. I agree. I agree. That's a big old lake. My favorite brand of truck is definitely a Ford, if you couldn't tell. All my videos will have a Ford in it. Of some sort. The actual early episodes of the Ranch series, I actually drive my actual truck I own, which is a 2002 F350 Super Duty with a 7.3 liter diesel in it. 4-door. It's that gunmetal gray. And it is my pride and joy. I actually driving my half-ton truck right now. It's an 87 F-150 four-wheel drive. And the reason I'm driving it is because the carrier bearing's out on my 350. And I've got to pull it off. And while I'm pulling it off, I might as well change the U-joints on it and everything. So that's kind of the thing. Yeah, I like that style too. Your late 90s, early 2000s. The newer stuff, man, I'm not impressed with those motors yet. The 6.7's okay. I am a diesel guy. I like diesels. But, man, I'm going to tell you what, you give me an old 351 Ford motor or a 390, that's my jam. I think a lot of them motors really missed out because of the smog emissions in the 70s and everything like that kind of screwed them, but probably smart to put my stuff down. But yeah, no, that's definitely my stuff. Who doesn't like diesel? Yeah. Well, over here in America, we got some people that don't even like gas or diesel. They like them electric stuff. So it's kind of I don't know how to say it without sounding derogatory myself, so I'll just keep that to myself. Yes, sir. Some people on the left side is right. But hey, at the end of the day, much as we disagree, we're all Americans. One day I hope we all put our differences aside and sing Kumbaya together, let me tell you. A lot of those in your town too, Sweden? Yeah. Sweden, I don't know if you've been following it or not. If not, it's okay. We'll try to fill you in as good as possible. But Piper will know what I'm talking about. I cannot wait till Tuesday. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm so ready for it to be over. I'm ready. Hopefully you two don't kick me off for saying anything bad, because I know they're a little left-leaning themselves, but which is not a bad thing. Everybody's got their preferences. It just, the left ideas do not work for me. Yeah, Sweden. The end of the vote's Tuesday for our next president. You gotta be kidding me. Y'all see what I'm seeing? Oh my goodness. How far have we not been planning? To right here. Wow. Oh, I'm an idiot. I must have hit the button, turned the machine off. Okay. So, we got a couple... oh, man, that sucks. So we didn't plant that whole time on this row, so we missed a row. Yeah, I mean, I'm a Trump guy too. I ain't loud and proud about it, but I am a Trump guy, and my reasons are for my own. I will just say this: not everybody's perfect, and he's far from it. But I will say this: a leader to me is somebody that's got, the, how do you say it, the testicular fortitude, as I used to say, to make decisions that need to happen and don't matter who they make mad. If it's something to make, somebody to put America first, and that's just, I feel like the other side is about themselves, not for America. So, again, everybody's got their views, and I ain't trying to start a fight or anything like that if anybody's watching. But farmers and stuff usually tend to lean, how do you say it, red. Well, when it comes down to it, Piper, you can't be afraid to make decisions. That's what you're there for. But, again, everybody's got their opinion, and that's the great thing about living in this country is you're allowed to have your opinion, and, there's just going to be different views. This is how it is. I'm going to turn them lights on because I'm looking at my stream. And it's date on my screen, it's bright where you don't need them, but no, I do my end rows last. And the reason for that is because that's realistic. You'll notice that's why I'm picking up before the end of the field. Is because it's a compaction thing. That's the value of the realism aspect that I bring to it. It's that way you're not driving over crop and packing it down, because on the back of your planter you have your gauge wheels and your pressure. Can't remember what they're called now, but they're those wheels right there in the middle. You got front wheels and then the back wheels that look like saw blades. And the middle wheels compress the dirt back down, and they put pressure on that to push the ground down. And you don't want to be driving over the top of something. So it's your, you don't want to compact the dirt. So that's why you do all this, and then you do your end rows last, so you have less compaction on top of your seeds. And the same thing when you plow your fields too, because you want that ground to be soft. So when you're plowing or you're cultivating, you don't want to hard pack it with tires. Oh, and by the way, Sweden, I finally found the area you're talking about on Google Maps. That's pretty country, buddy. You are luckier than you know. Yeah, I try to bring, I don't know everything about farming, but I know enough to get me in trouble, if that makes sense. So I could add another aspect of it. If this was soybeans, for instance, we'd be planting in our rows because, believe it or not, that's actually a row crop too. But I do believe you can plant it on a regular seed drill in this game. But when you go to harvest it, you want to go at an angle with your harvester. I want to say it's like a 7 to 14 degree angle So you're not doing up and down rows, you're going at an angle. And the reason for that is I've been told multiple things. It's for compaction, so you're not running over the same area the whole time, and you get bevels in your field from tire track going the same way all the time. And I've been told that the beans actually flow into your header a little better when you go at an angle. So right here, when I hear that beep, I pick it up, and we don't plant. I find my GPS line, click on it, turns green, and I try to get close to that again, and then put the machine down. So we're not planting all the way up to the end. And then this will be our last up-down pass that we'll do, and we'll go straight into the headland, is what they call that, the end rows, your headland after that. Believe it or not, talking to you guys, we made great time on this big old field. Like I said, it's 140. This field by itself is 146 acres. So a full mile section is 640 acres. To kind of give you an idea, an aspect of how big it is. So in game or in real life, this field so far, we're at 2 hours and 30 minutes or so. My recording deal says 2 hours and 35 minutes, but I started 5 minutes showing my main screen, my live stream screen, about 5 minutes before 7. 'Cause that's when I try to go live, is 7 o'clock on Saturdays. I figured that'd be a kind of good time to start. So we just got this pass, and I think I've got it set up to where we only got to this end's a little wonky, so I might make 2 passes on the end rows over here, but everything else should be 1. Another thing you ought to try, Piper, is they got what they call row crop ready mods. That's where the meat and potatoes are, because that's your realistic stuff, and I haven't gotten into it yet because I want them to fix all the problems with it, because it can. I've heard it can crash your computer. I can't remember the reason for it, but it can make stuff real glitchy. So you might do some. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look that up. It's called Row Crop Ready, and it's certain maps that got to be ready for it. But it's pretty neat. I'm about to do some research on it and see if you'd like it and try it since you're on PC. That is the level of realism that my channel needs, but I'm not ready to go there yet. Because you want, like that stuff we did back there not planting, it'd show if I didn't catch it. Your line's not being straight, your rows won't be straight, and your combine will have problems later on in the year when you're harvesting. You got to actually pay attention. If you've got to have, if you got a 16 row planter, you've got to have at least a 16 row header or a 8 row header. Like, it's got to be even. So stop that there. We'll go ahead and go this way around. I've got 32% of seeds left. And we will put her down. And we will go around the outside now. Let's see how this looks from in cab with the lights on. Heck yeah. I'm just glad GPS is going to be in Farm Sim 25. Yeah, Piper, you got to do a lot of that's kind of stuff you worry about. Like in real life on farms, you know, if you got a couple guys at work, it's you know, the guy that does your plowing or your tillage or whatever you want to call it, cultivating, is usually not the guy that does the planting, because those rows got to be straight. And that's where obviously GPS came in and handled a lot of that. And I'm not for sure if the row crop ready has shutoffs. So like right here, I've got 2 or 3 rows. What is it? 1, 2. I got 3 rows in the grass right now. If this was a row crop ready mod, you would have corn popping up over there in the grass, I do believe. Unless you had shutoffs to shut those rows off. So it's definitely realism at its finest. So that'd be kind of cool if they fine tune it a little bit and do a little better job and bring it back for Farm Sim 25, and I will probably download it. I ain't gonna lie. But then big maps like Tahitian, that a lot of people play on, is row crop ready. I think Upper Mississippi River Valley is another one. Not a lot of maps out there that are row crop ready, but I'm not for sure if Medicine Creek is or not. I want to say it might be. I'm wondering if we're going to have enough seed to finish this end rows up. But yeah, no, it's cool. You think that that's awesome that I do that. Yeah, it actually adds another element to your gameplay. If you like playing, you know, on your PC or even on console, you can do it there. Just give yourself, you know, however many headlands you want. Usually it's going to be 1 or 2. Most people pick 1, but generally you want to pick 2 just for turning around purposes if you got a lot of trees on the side of your fields. And, you know, just give or take about where you want to be at and get a visual. And like my go-to is obviously 1. Once we get up here, you'll see my my tractor will beep, telling me the headland's near, and that's actual real GPS in real life thing. And when I hear that, that's when I'll turn. So I heard it. Now we're gonna turn. And like I said, it ain't perfect. And we'll line up with the edge of the field. Now, if I wanted to, I could turn. For instance, you get in here on your GPS, and I could rotate that 90 degrees, and now it's running that way. So, and then I could hit Alt X, and obviously it's going to move it over a little bit. And then it'll plant there. But as you can see over here, I'm not really meeting up with my lines. There's some that are really bad. Okay, so I could actually come around again and put another headland in there. So don't know if we'll do that on this stream or not. Like I said, once I get them it's getting pretty late here, so once we get this field done, I'll probably end up jumping off here. You know, I'm actually going to, I can't remember how to do it. Oh, what is it? I want to shift. Oh, we're almost to the end. I ain't gonna worry about it. But anyway, you can shift over. And obviously, you know, because I'm really far off here, you'd usually do the inside and then work your way out. Turn off that line because it's not straight. And we'll come in here. Now, course play is really your the most accurate depiction of GPS, really. Even though this one's got all the bells and whistles and everything like that, but it'll actually follow. I'm actually going to pick up right here and drive down to the end because that'd be wasting. I'm all right with the old corn being there for tractors with. And then we don't want to drive on top of what we already planted, obviously. And we'll go down here and do this. Oh man, we need to do this though. I didn't realize that was field angles out. We'll just freehand this from what I can see. Then you guys will definitely be able to see it when we harvest spots I miss. Of course, it being at night, it's hard to see, but I'm looking for them lines. So I'm freehanding it right now. Not doing too bad if I say so myself. And obviously, if you're playing on console instead of PC and you don't have the awesome power of GPS, if you look down there at the map, you'll see it. Those first couple numbers are in degrees. You can get you a straight line by putting it on 90, 180, 270, I think it is, and then whatever's half of 180. Oh, 90, 180, 270, and then 360. There we go. So you can get you a straight line off that, or you can do it the old-fashioned way. And then John Deere's real good about it. You can point that nose, that center part where it looks like there's a line going down the middle of it. Just point that at a tree you're going to. That's the old-fashioned way of doing it. That's how you did it in real life. So get you straight in line with something you're seeing in the horizon and just keep driving towards it. Something tells me this GPS will probably line up pretty good down here at this end because it didn't line up there on the north end. These lines are going to be squirrely. Piper, do you play with a, do you do mouse and keyboard, or do you actually got a wheel set up and everything like I do? Keyboard? Gotcha. I will tell you this, I can't, I don't think I could go back to doing a keyboard after a wheel. It's just, I don't know, it looks kind of jumpy with a keyboard. But them wheels can be expensive. So I understand why people still use the keyboard. But yeah, the steering wheel's where it's at. If you ever get an opportunity to, definitely try that. That'll enhance your gameplay too. Pretty sky. That's some purples. Them reds. I don't think we're going to have enough for enough seed. So we'll just go ahead and fill it one last time. Got 14.3 hours on this machine, just this tractor. Just kind of shows you the time I put into this map. And I've got several other machines that, I ain't been driving this the whole time, so that's pretty neat. By the time Farm Sim 25 gets here, I'm going to be kind of curious what our end hours are. What is my favorite holiday? I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of a Christmas guy. I do like Christmas, but I've always been a family guy. So, it's them holidays that bring families closer together is usually going to be my top tiers. What's your favorite holiday? Same, or you got one different? Okay, so I definitely recognize Christmas, but what is midsummer? Because that's definitely an area thing over in your area. I don't think we do a midsummer celebration over here. Piper's yours is Christmas also? Yeah, I think that's a lot of people's. I am curious about this midsummer stuff, though. Is that like a harvest thing or a farmer thing? July 4th. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, July 4th is a pretty big one, too. That's pretty important, Piper. You eat, dance, and drink. Well, that sounds like my kind of party, bud. It's a Swedish holiday? Okay, so it's just strictly Sweden. Well, that's cool. See, this is stuff I learned, Sweden. A lot of fish and potatoes. Heck yeah, buddy. Alrighty, guys. Well, unfortunately, the end is here. That field is done. We're going to fold this thing up, and I am going to call it. Again, I appreciate you guys here talking to me. Do I have a family of my own? I do. I'm actually I'm dating a gal, and she has a daughter. And I view them as my family. So, yeah, I've got a family of my own. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to end the stream there. Definitely come check me out in other videos, and hopefully to see you all again next Saturday. And again, I enjoyed you guys' company. I enjoyed learning from you, where you come from, and different stuff you guys do and stuff I do. So, Piper, you got a task to give me a name, unless you like Piper. So... Anyway, we're not here for a long time, but we're here for a good time. So with that, it's nice seeing you, and thanks for just stopping by.